Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Salam sejahtera. Very good day, everyone. So today I'm going to discuss about opportunity recognition and generating ideas in the context of entrepreneurial leadership. Okay, so I guess this is very important for leaders, for entrepreneurial leaders to grasp and digest the idea of this opportunity recognition. Okay, so yeah, hang on a second. Yep. Okay, if we can start to think about opportunity recognition in the context of entrepreneurial leadership, uh, one need to differentiate between opportunities and idea. Because out there are a lots of ideas. Okay, some ideas is just a manifestation of what we call it sudden thinking of somebody's interest or even their inclination toward something. For example, if the ideas has been decorated or has been generated around someone's experiences of an event of an interest, for example, in sports, in any related things. This is where ideas came about. Okay. However, how we can turn that in the ideas into opportunities, that's another perspective or another interesting point. The second is uh, to know or even to uh, analyze a bit about the general approaches of entrepreneurs used to identify opportunities. I guess this is also, and I believe this is also applicable to the entrepreneurial leaders, so that they are able to recognize it not only as a commercial opportunities, but rather opportunities to turn around the organization they are headed. The third one is to recognize or to know the personal characteristics of entrepreneurs that contribute to their ability to recognize the business opportunity. So, all in all, we can see that the idea generation or opportunity recognition almost 100% dependent on the individual capabilities to do so. Okay. Number four is to describe the technique the entrepreneur use to generate ideas. Is quite common like that. And action to take encourage continuous development of new ideas in entrepreneurial firm. Now, what is an opportunity? Okay, what is an opportunity? Here it says that opportunity is a favorable set of circumstances that create a need for a new product, service, and business. So that means opportunity is all about addressing gap in existing or new market. Or if we put in a more contextual of leadership, is about fulfilling the unmet needs of uh, internal and external environment. Okay. However, opportunity also must exist in the sense of they have a what we call it antecedents or prerequisite that we frame it as a favorable set of circumstances. That means, all in all, you have before we embark on the opportunity or before we make actions to address the opportunity, we must know our strength uh, 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 of our organization, for example. Okay, so this is very important insight. Now, four essential qualities of opportunity. This is what we call it a fundamental understanding about what is opportunity. So, four essential qualities of opportunity. It must be attractive, timely, durable, and anchored in a product or services or business that create and add value for its buyer and user. This is where you create what we call it a value chain along what we have, what we have in terms of the idea, okay, in terms of idea, so that we can develop and refine the idea into opportunities. So opportunity rather than just an idea, definitely for me, I think how we can understand it, opportunity is an extension of ideas. So we cannot put aside the fact that opportunity originated or originally coming from idea. Okay, so this is one. So three ways to identify opportunity: observing trend, solving problem, finding gaps in the marketplace. This is common things. For me, as a leaders, we need to master the observing trend and also solving problem. The finding gaps in the marketplace is more or less we must dependent on SOPs, procedures, or even business tools that are available in our administration or in our organization. So observing trend, what is this? What are they? Um, Observing trend create opportunity for entrepreneurs to pursue. Okay, it's quite common. Uh, in any circumstances, economy will not create, but rather, how you say, it's not creating the trend, but trend try to fitting in into the economic situation. What I mean here is, uh, if the main element of economy is about the ability of public to spend or purchasing power of the people, okay, so we cannot quote unquote change that because uh, it is influenced by many circumstances, okay, so trend must follow this one. That's another fact. For example, trend of spending on personal accessories. You can observe the ups and downs of that trend when they try to fitting in into people's or public purchasing power. Okay. So the most important trends are economic forces, social forces, technological advances, political and regulatory change. Okay. So yeah, it's important to be aware of changes of this area. So whatever we try to observe trend, the trend have the trends have what we call trigger for action. So these four economic forces, social forces, technological advances, political regulatory change are what we call it um, uh, fit, prerequisite of the trends. Yeah? Now, environmental trends suggesting business or product opportunity gaps. Okay. If we look at this figure, on the right side, you can see clearly the outcome of whatever happening on the left side, which refers to new business, product, and service ideas. Okay. So as a leader, you know for the fact that if you are heading a commercial organization, you know for the fact that you need to come up with this one because you need to cope with the demand and you try to overcome what we call it competition from time to time because If you are not doing well in this area, and the competitors is much better than you, and definitely they will, what we call it, try to gain a market share in any sector that you are in. Okay. New business product and service can be considered as the outcome. Before that, it's all about business, product, or service opportunity gap. Okay. This opportunity gap is what is available and what is possible. Okay. Um, what is available normally proposed by the industry player or the commercial sector. So that means what they have in the market. Now, we are dealing with, because most of our market, either business to customer or business to business arrangement, it is still dependent on human preferences. Human preferences. And when we talk about human preferences, there's a variety of preferences, one. And it keep on changing from time to time, two. Number three, it might be what we call have a ripple effect. If someone decided to do so, to have some sort of spending habit, then the others might follow later on. Okay, so the opportunity gap that we are looking, where we try to ascertain what is available and what are possible. So what are available is the current, what we call it, current capacity of the industry to produce and to offer. Meanwhile, what is possible is referring to or refers to what we call it, people taste and preferences. At certain, in a special condition, uh, what is possible also can refer to what are the most advanced technology, innovation, or invention that made available by the industry. Okay, they could be the one. However, what is available, I think, if we try to investigate it based on studying the customer preference, is not fitting it well, not fitting well with the concept, because we know for the fact that what the the customer preference, taste and preferences, we only can consider it what is possible. Okay, because the human being keep on demanding a new product, better quality, product scope and all that, you know. And on the left side, this is the essence of observable trend, the economic forces. Yeah. Okay. State of economy, level of disposable income. You know, this is very much influence the purchasing power of the public, and consumer spending pattern. So the pattern refers to a certain time period. Okay, like now, during this festive season, we are having the still in the month of Ramadan, fasting month, but people are rushing to update update their, I don't know what we call it, update their, not status, but rather than something that they can aware, there's something that they consume, but is contingent to their income level. Okay, so this is where people recognize the importance of ability to spend in a way. Okay. Meanwhile, for social forces, we are looking at social and cultural trends, demographic changes, and what people think is in. This is the argument where you see that in our social life, we have some fulfillment or what we call a preoccupied event for for the society to be in. Okay. So these demographic changes, sometimes we observe based on generations by generations. Okay. So what it means here that we must expect and have a good understanding of generations of people. The common way is based on their age bracket. Okay, age bracket. So that is the thing. So there's a must be a what we call it market intelligence to study these social forces. The third element of observing trend is technological advances. So this refers to new technology, emerging technology, and new uses of old technology. You know, technology that has been put in other different usage. Okay, and last is the political and regulatory change. This is where it's common to people doubt about it, but this is common for us to experience it from time to time. Second approach of generating ideas is to focus on what we call it try to solve problems. Try to solve problems. Sometimes identifying opportunities simply involve noticing problem, finding a way to solve it. Okay, this problem can be pinpointed through observing trends and through more simple means such as intuition, serendipity, and change. Okay, so the second point here, I believe that if we are about to solve problem, the leaders need to solve problem. Sometimes they cannot be put the 100% rely on what we call a structured approach. Okay, sometimes it must be coming from unstructured approach or unstructured thinking. Many companies have been started by people who have experienced a problem in their own lives and then realized that the solution to the problem represented a business opportunity. It's quite common. You know, this is what we call it sometimes a user-based innovation or user-based creation. Okay, so that means an ordinary people like us will have this encounter this problem and they try to solve it. So leaders also must recognize, you know, this kind of people so that they can give idea or reflect what are their hardship and their miseries that can be turned into opportunity for creation of product services and also business model, if I may that way. For example, a problem facing in the US and other countries is finding alternative to fossil fuel. Okay, we have been facing this quite sometimes. We tend to sometimes have an idea that the fossil fuel is depleting and we need to find a alternative source, and they started to try everything, solar powered, wind powered, wave powered, and almost anything that they could imagine in generating power or battery, for example. A large number of entrepreneurial firms like this farm are being launched to solve this problem. Okay, so this is very interesting part where you see there's a gap in the market and you try to address it well. Gaps in the market, it is another approach. Finding gap in the market. A third approach is identifying opportunities to find a gap in the marketplace. Is quite common. This is more what we call it a commercial approach or more entrepreneurial approach. Entrepreneurial in the sense of entrepreneurship activities and not leadership, but it's more. A gap in the marketplace is often created when a product or service is needed by a specific group of people but doesn't represent a specific group, but doesn't represent a large enough market to be interest of to the mainstream retailers or manufacturer. So finding gap in the market is not only about problem, but also whatever being leftovers by major players. I think major industries players. So when you are big corporation, you tend to be more calculative and more structured in analyzing the business opportunity. So that means you need to go to several, you need to get a multiple approval. So this is where sometimes people are biased because people are making the decision, biased and tend to say that it's better for me to leave or whatever, you know. So that means there's a still opportunity for any smaller player, smaller industry player to address this gap. Product gap in the marketplace represent a potential viable business opportunity. Okay, this is where we compare whatever available in the market and what are being desired by public. So personal characteristic of entrepreneurial leaders or entrepreneur, you can see that characteristics that tend to make people better at recognizing opportunities than others. So I believe that because this is a fact applied to the entrepreneurs. However, it also can be applied to the leaders, to the leadership as well. For example, you must have the prior experience, cognitive factors, social network, and also creativity to in order to make it happen. The prior industry experience or prior experience. Several studies have shown that the prior experience is in an industry helps an entrepreneur recognize business opportunities. By working in an industry, an individual may spot a niche market that is underserved. So the prior experience engaging, for example, in this area before joining the current organization, that means the previous experience were with other companies. So they are able to extract the information and also what we call it understanding of the market in order to make a refinement to them. Okay, it is also possible that by working in an industry, an individual build a network, build a network of social contacts who provide insight that lead to recognizing new opportunities. So this is where the prior experience expand the outreach of network and also gain a new idea from that network. Cognitive factors. The cognitive factors is ability to think. You must have some sort of intelligent, certain level of intelligent quality, IQ, in order to be a leader. You know. Studies show that the opportunity recognition may be an innate skill or cognitive process. So it must have certain quality or certain level of thinking in order to propel ideation. If we are unable to do that, I think we are on the losing side where the other people start to think faster than us, faster than leaders. If that happens, that means whatever we propose might be overlap one or even fall under a backward ideas rather than forward ideas. Okay. Some people believe that entrepreneurs have a sixth sense. Okay, sixth sense is a advantage that someone have that allows them to see the opportunities that other people miss. Having said that, in this paragraph, I think is a partially right. So where you are talking about also about risk taking. Risk taking in this cognitive factor also affect the what we call it the plan to make something. Okay. The sixth thing is called entrepreneurial alertness, which are formally defined as the ability to notice things without engaging in a deliberate research. So that means it's more intuition, more on how fast and how creative the thinking can be done here. Yeah, social network. The extent and depth of individual social network affects opportunity recognition. People who build a substantial network of social or professional contact will be exposed to more opportunities than the ideas that people will sparse on networks. Research results suggest that 40 and 50% of people who start business got their idea in via social contact. Okay. Now, what we are trying to argue here is that the social network or the person and business networking is very important in opportunity recognition. So why? The first thing is about the access to covered or extra information about that opportunity. Some information are available, and some information, for example, uh, um, something like the planning of the government and all that. Sometimes they have embargo on it, and the social network could bring that into the table, unverified, unfortunately, unverified, but it is good enough for a decision making or for their strategic thinking and strategic project. Okay. Strong and tight relationship. All of us have relationship with other people that are called ties. Social networks. Nature of strong tie and versus weak relationship. Strong tie relationships are characterized by frequent interaction and formed between co-workers, friends, and spouse. Okay. Weak relationships are characterized by unique infrequent interaction form between casual acquaintances. Okay, so here we can see that uh, lecturers or even facilitators in any way can be the reflection of this social network. Reflection means try to ascertain how far we can go or how far someone can go to be rely on this social network. And the result is likely the entrepreneur will get new business idea through a weak tie rather than strong tie relationship. Okay. Okay. It's quite controversial and interesting where result is more likely the entrepreneur will get new business ideas through a weak. Okay, we thought that strong tie relationship can give a better business idea. However, you can see here, a weak relationship is better. Okay. Weak, weak tie relationship lead to more new business idea than strong tie relationship. Okay. Strong tie relationship. This strong relationship, which typically from the relationship which typically between like-minded individual. Okay. Strong tie relationship refers to a group of people that have very strong and similar interests. I tend to reinforce the idea that people are already have. Okay. Sometimes is we are talking about the same idea. Meanwhile, for a weak relationship, we are looking at relationship which form between casual and acquaintances, such as you know uh, the head of right? Okay. This relationship which form casual acquaintances are not have to be like a minded person. So you have a variety, okay, a variety um of people thinking not in a stereotype thinking. So you are unable to grab sometimes or even to establish a good rapport with them because they keep on talking or they started talk about a different way. But the variety or the heterogeneous of this group will create more creativity and also self-reflection about what you have done so far. Okay. Creativity? No. It's about creativity. Creativity is the process of generating novel and useful idea. Opportunity creation may be in the at least in the part of creative process. For individual, the creative process can be broken down into 5 stages as shown in the next slide. Huh? Keep on. These are the 5 steps to generating creative ideas. Preparation, incubation, insight, eureka. That means you have a bling and a ping. Say that the business idea is conceived and problem is solved. Huh? And we have evaluation and also elaboration, and these steps feeding in each other from time to time. Eh? So, for example, preparation. Preparation, you are referring to some sort of you are ready to embark on journey where you try to explore the leader try to explore new ideas. Then there's the incubation stage. Incubation whereby you can see that you try to incubate the idea and try to hatch it. Okay, so that means you are crystalline. You are make the necessary refinement of that idea. And some at some certain point you have the eureka, the insight, where you hear the ping and you thought this is the right idea or the right idea that can be turned into the opportunities. However, you still need to do the leaders still need to do the evaluation and also the elaboration. So full view of opportunity recognition process is about recognizing the intersection between environmental trends, economic factors, social factors, technological advances, and political and regulatory. Personal characteristics of the entrepreneurs also play an important role in this one. And the rest, and it's followed by the business product or service opportunity gap, the difference between what is available and what is possible, so that you can bring along or generate a new business product or service and idea. So techniques for generating ideas is what we call it a brainstorming, focus group, and also live research or internet search. So this is brainstorming. Normally, it's an open-ended session whereby you are throwing a lot of ideas here. Sometimes it doesn't fit into the what we call a parameter of execution, but they are doing so that they can gain a lot of ideas. Then focus group and focus group discussion (FGD) is focused on to discuss and to get feedback on a certain issues and all that. And yeah, this is internet search whereby you try to make connection actually when you embark on this internet research, you try to make connection based on the reading and observation. So yeah, this is more or less what I've just mentioned. Is brainstorming is a technique used to generate large number of ideas and solution to problem quickly. A brainstorming session typically involve group of people and should be targeted to a specific topic. Rules for brainstorming is no criticism. That means it's free from critics. You can throw anything, but must be respectful. And free willing is encouraged. If free willing, that means you are trying to secure certain things based on your expertise. Based on your expertise. So this is where we can see a lot of ideas crisscrossing ideas happen. Session should be moved quickly and leapfrogging is encouraged. Focus group discussion is a gathering 5 or 10 people who have been selected based on their common characteristic relative to the issues, and led by trained moderator who uses the internal dynamic. So it must be moderated by a moderator in order to facilitate the discussion. And this is very important. Okay. So I think that's all one for ideas. And then hope that you can benefit, and perhaps sometimes you can have a discussion with me later on. Okay. Until then, Assalamualaikum.